Well, hello there. Thank you very much for joining me on another adventure. I really appreciate it. I'm out here in the awesome Aussie Alps and wow, I have just snowshoed for a touch over 3 hours. I climbed up to about 1900 meters above sea level, and this is probably the most beautiful place I've ever been, and I've been to some pretty incredible spots. I am just blown away by how magical this view is. I'm on a southeastern facing slope of a little rise. I'm at 1901 meters and the view all around me is incredible. I'm just climbing to the very top of this little rise. You'll be able to see the main range here in the Australian Alps. Oh, what a spot. Oh, incredible, incredible. I tell you what, it wasn't easy to get here, but wow, is it worth it? Oh. I picked my weekend for it, that's for sure. It's probably about 6 degrees up here. I spent all day snowshoeing in a t-shirt. It was absolutely sensational. I've just stopped, so I put on a thermal top and my fleece. But wow, I'm just blown away for words. This is sometimes, you know, you have this idea in your head, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. But today, oh my goodness, what an absolutely stunning spot. Okay, so just behind me, I think is where I'm going to set up my tent. Yeah, this is the first time for me proper snow camping. I'm at altitude and I'm on top of a big snowdrift. I think the spot I've picked, the winds are predicted to be pretty light tonight, sort of 10 kilometers an hour, so really, really light. But I have just popped behind this little snow wall here. You can see behind me. And so that's just going to give me a little bit of wind protection, and the snow here is quite thick, so I can flatten out a spot, set up the tent, and I think this will be a pretty epic camp. Probably the most epic camp I've ever had. Oh. So it's just gone 3:30. Yeah, that was about three and a half hours of walking to get here. I just can't believe my luck. I've just been standing here gobsmacked at how amazing this place is, but I haven't actually used my tent before, and so whilst it's nice and calm and the sun's out, I want to make sure I've got everything squared away, nicely set up, and I've got time to do it, so I'm not under pressure. I've probably got just under 2 hours of light left, so I'm doing pretty well. But the first thing I need to do is level out a bit of a spot here. I'm pretty happy with this. It looks safe to me. So yeah, let's get on with it. It's actually going easier than I thought it would. Just walking it down with the snowshoes is really helping. So yeah, I've got a pretty flat spot already, but yeah, I got a little bit more to do. Okay, well I think I've levelled out a decent enough spot here. Because I've only set my tent up once in the living room. I can't exactly remember how big it is, so I think I've made a big enough space for it. But yeah, I'm pretty keen to have everything set up and dig myself a nice little chair and just enjoy the view, because it is sensational. So that was actually a lot more fiddly than I expected. This tent is an outer pitch first, so you pitch the outer skin and then the inner, which is a little bit counterintuitive to the way I'm used to setting up a tent. So it's only supposed to get down to about -3 tonight, but obviously I am sleeping on snow, so yeah, I do have a really good sleeping bag, a fleece liner as a backup, and an insulated sleeping mat. It's a beautiful day in the mountains. It really is just perfect. You really couldn't ask for much more. I'm trying to keep everything dry so I don't bring unnecessary bits of snow into my tent. Yeah, I'm not sure I've got this tent set up properly yet. The floor doesn't look to be particularly taut. I've got a nice taut pitch on the skin, but yeah, I guess it's the joys of using it for the first time. So I've just been looking at my tent and having a bit of a play around with it. I'm not sure I've got this front vestibule set up correctly. I don't think that material should sag, but I can't quickly figure out how to fix it. I think there's two drawstrings at the front there, and I think they probably loop into the vestibule material, but it's a little bit fiddly, so yeah, I'm not going to worry about it now. It looks like it's going to be a pretty cool night. I want to enjoy this view before the sun goes down, so I'm going to grab a beer and find a spot, I reckon. I'm lost for words, guys. This is just beautiful. There's no other word for it. I'm on this rise, and I've got pretty much 360-degree views of the tallest mountains in continental Australia. It's just amazing. They're snow-capped. It's a beautiful spring evening. I can't. Yeah, this video is going to be a lot of a lot of shots of the mountains, I think. Wow. I'm lucky to have been to some really amazing places, and I go out of my way to find them, and I had no idea. Like, I've been to the mountains, I go skiing regularly, I've been snowshoeing before. I've been building up to this trip for a very long time. I can't believe I've picked the weekend and the spot for it. Yeah. Very happy to be enjoying the view with a homage to the greatest movie ever made. Hop Gun the Beer is the sequel to the movie. I'm looking forward to the sequel coming out. This is just ridiculous. I'm just looking at the view in the screen. It's just oh. A big shout out to everyone from Canada and America and everywhere else where there's normally snow. This is a pretty special place in Australia. We don't have a lot of snow, but we do get a lot of snow on this range. I had no idea how hard it was to film with the tripod in snow. It's bloody ridiculous. I'm happy. So happy. My tent looks so cool down there. Incredible, guys. I've been just looking and filming and trying to take this place in. Incredible. But I've lost nearly all my light, and so before it gets completely dark, what I want to do is just dig out a little seat, a little table, just so I can have some dinner and kind of look at the last of the light. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. So it's not going to be anything too fancy. It's basically just a spot on the slope where I can dig out a little hole for my feet, and then a flat spot for my jet boil so I can cook some food up. Oh, and a flat spot to sit, of course. That's actually pretty good. So these snowshoes are very awkward to walk in, particularly around camp. I did try taking them off before, but I found that the snow's pretty soft where I haven't been walking, and my feet were going straight through it, and they'll get wet and cold. So unfortunately, yeah, I'm going to keep the snowshoes on. That is perfect. Oh, that'll do nicely. That'll do nicely. I've showed it to you a million times already. I've been enjoying looking at it all day, and behind you guys, what I'm looking at right now, just the most incredible view. This is, without a doubt, the best place I have ever camped. I tell you what, guys, the Aussie bush is an amazing place. It, you know, this is going out and exploring and getting into nature is how I recharge my batteries, and this is next level. This is yeah. What an amazing experience. I'm so glad I came out to do this. It's been a long day. I'm actually really hungry, so and the temperature's starting to really drop off, as you could imagine. So I'm going to get some 2-minute noodles on the stove. Well, that wasn't very clever. Just managed to put the stove valve into the snow. Rookie error. Rookie error. Got the old trusty jet boil. It's been a while since I've used it, but yeah, I really do like this piece of kit. It's a great way to cook food, and nice little self-contained stove. So I'm actually just going to use my shovel to get some good snow. So the top of the snow is a little bit, yeah, it's got dust and other things on it. So use a little bit of fresh water to help it start. had someone comment on one of my videos recently that I was basically a heretic for having put in my my 2-minute noodle seasonings at the same time as there was still water in there. Anyway, that's the way I like it, so if you don't like it, feel free to switch off. I thought it was a good comment though, it did make me laugh. If anybody's got a good way of cutting open the mee goreng sauce sachets, I'd love to hear it, so let me know, because I have not found a good way to do it without getting stuff everywhere. Making an absolute mess here. Oh my goodness, what an absolute spot. I'm up high enough that I can actually see a few lights on the horizon. It's very interesting. I can see some lights out there on the towards the southeast forest of the Monero Plain. Yeah, very, very cool. Alright, you know the noodles are ready when it starts to boil over. I have really made a mess here, guys. Far out. It's one thing gators are really good for, is to wipe your hands on, and you can't really tell that they're dirty. I had 2-minute noodles, they were fantastic. And I've got some dehydrated rice in here, which is just rehydrating. And I'm just putting a sachet of salmon pieces in here as well. So not overly gourmet tonight, but fairly quick and easy, and a decent substantial meal. It's what I need right now. Pretty cold. Probably won't be out much longer once I've had dinner, and then hop into the tent, try and get warm. I have certainly smelt better dinners, that's for sure, but it would do the job. Alright, that'll do. Tell you what else is doing the job, this snow chair is absolutely fantastic. Means I can have my snowshoes on. This foam's really doing a great job. I can just be sitting down comfortable, and yeah, not spread out completely over the snow, so that's always good. It's a pass, barely. It's not very good, to be honest. Normally this goes alright, but yeah, the salmon's not really working with the rice I've got. But yeah, I'll give you guys a proper look at my gear tomorrow. So show you my snowshoes and my shovel and some of the key bits of gear I got with me this trip. I haven't done that for a while, so yep, I'll give you guys a look at that. I actually got out for a trip about a month ago, but I bought a new audio recorder for my camera, and I haven't quite learnt how to use it properly. The audio on the video is pretty terrible, so I haven't actually done too much with that one. I might try and edit it into something small and short, but yeah, at the moment it's kind of just sitting there. So yeah, that's why you haven't seen me for a while. Tell you what, I'm quite enjoying having this little lounge suite. Handy just to have a little spot to rest your beer. So the The Hop Gun Hop Oil IPA was pretty top notch. It was a great beer to watch the sunset. And now I've got a Velvet Stout from Deep Creek. Deep Creek, New Zealand brewers, make some really nice beers. I really like them. So I'm going to enjoy that one and then jump into the tent. Well, good morning, guys. Wow, what a morning! And geez, it was a pretty good night too. I was a little bit worried about the wind, but not a wisp of air last night. Just beautiful, calm and still, absolutely fantastic. And this morning, I've just spent about an hour looking at the horizon, the scenery, and watching the sunrise. It's been fantastic. I actually set my alarm at 6 o'clock this morning, but I sort of had a sticky beak out the tent at about 5:30, and there's already light coming out. So I quickly hustled to get all my cold weather gear on and jump out and watch it. Takes a breath away. This place is amazing, and the snow just gives it something additional. Yeah, so I've been up and about now for an hour or so. I'm going to jump back into my sleeping bag very quickly. My boots are actually frozen, and my feet are really cold, so I just want to take my boots off, jump in the sleeping bag, warm up, and then yeah, it's only 6:30, so it's pretty early. I might spend half an hour in the sleeping bag and then yeah, get up and make some breakfast and coffee. So it's gonna be a good day. I can feel it already. It's gonna be a warm day actually. The snow at the moment is really firm. It was -4 overnight, and truth be told, I was probably a little bit on the cold side. I just probably pushing the limits of what my sleeping mat can insulate against, but it was perfectly fine. I might look at getting a new mat if I do this again in the future. But yeah, the snow, because it was so cold overnight, has actually hardened up a lot. So I can at the moment walk on it with snowshoes, without snowshoes I should say. By the time I have breakfast and get packed up and get out of here, I'm sure it'll start to soften and I need to put those snowshoes back on. But yeah, wow, what a morning. good, guys, pretty good. What a morning, guys. It's just fantastic up here. It's so peaceful, it's so nice. Yeah, that was a pretty good coffee. I enjoyed that one very much. Just getting the jet boil going. I just want to make some porridge quickly. Nothing too fancy for breakfast. I've just got some instant porridge, and I've got some strawberries and apples that I dehydrated at home. So I'll put a few of those in the porridge too. Oh, beauty day, beauty day. I've actually managed to get the water right this time, so I haven't got sloppy porridge. Pretty rare occurrence for me. All right. Walking in, I thought I'd be trying to get a spot where I could look at the main range, which is actually behind me. But behind you guys is, I don't know, I just find those mountains, even though they're a bit lower and there's not much snow on them, it's that kind of combination of the forest and the peaks. It speaks to me a little bit more. So yeah, really glad that I was able to sit up here and enjoy this view, because yeah, look behind you guys is just lots and lots of wilderness, and it's pretty nice to look at in the morning. Before I start packing up, I said last night I'll give you guys a quick look at my gear, and what I'll do is focus on the gear that is a little bit different for this trip. So things like snowshoes, shovel, and my tent. You guys have seen my sleeping bag. I use a Mont Helium 600 sleeping bag, a really nice down sleeping bag from an Aussie company. I've got a Climate Static V sleeping pad. For me, last night I was pushing the limits of its R value. It wasn't quite insulating me well enough, but luckily I had a Cedar Summit Reactor liner in the bag as well, so that kept me warm. It had thermals and jumper, and I was warm enough, but yeah, I would have liked a little bit more insulation from the ground. I also use a Cedar Summit Aerios ultralight pillow. Really nice bit of kit. But yeah, let's have a look at some of the snowshoes. Let's look at these snowshoes. So I bought these a couple of years ago when I started coming up to the mountains a little bit more often. So yeah, these are a French snowshoe. They're from a company called TSL, and these are essentially a one-piece, very flexible main sort of chassis of the snowshoe, and got quite a nice sort of buckling system there, and then lots of spikes to sort of grip into the snow. I went for these over the MSR sort of Evo or Ascent series snowshoes, because I'm a little bit heavier, and with a pack on, these snowshoes are rated for a higher weight. So for me, these were a sensible choice. Yeah, these are a nice snowshoe. I quite like them. There's heaps out in the market now, so you know, if you want to get into this kind of thing, just have a look around and do your own research. But these are pretty good. They've also got a hill little stand, so when you're going up a hill, there's less effort required. So that's a nice little feature too. I've also got a pair of TSL lightweight trekking poles, and these are adjustable, so you can kind of tweak the length as you're walking along. That's quite useful, because when you're going up hills, you might want to have a shorter pole. So yeah, really handy just to keep your balance and just get that rhythm going when you're walking. And this is kind of like the silky saw of snow camping. A shovel's really handy to use, especially if you were in worse weather. So this is absolutely perfect spring day, so nothing really to worry about now. But if you're in a snowstorm, you had to move snow from your tent, clearing a flat spot like I did last night, making a little seat and table, all that kind of stuff, really useful. quite lightweight, folds down. You can take it apart and put it in your pack or share it with your walking partners. So yeah, that's a really handy bit of kit. This one's backcountry access. I can't remember how much it weighs, but yeah, it's one of the lighter ones I could find without being ridiculously expensive. In terms of the tent behind me, this is the Wilderness Equipment ultralight arrow, or second arrow I think it's called. It's the first time I've used it. As I was saying last night, I haven't quite got the pitch tweaked enough. I'll need to go home and just set up in the backyard and get it honed in a bit further. But lots of options. It's got a completely, this front part can zip down completely. It's got lots of ventilation options, so it's a nice little tent. Pretty expensive. They probably retail for $700-800. I was lucky to pick it up on sale when it was 40% off, so that was good. But yeah, I really wanted something that could handle the wind up here, so I'll probably only use this tent for trips like this. But yeah, it's nice to have that peace of mind in your back of your head that this tent's been designed for these sort of conditions. So what else can I show you? Oh, they've got a nice little bit of foam here. This is actually insulated foam. It actually really helps just to keep you from getting cold if you're sitting down or kneeling down like this. So yeah, it's a pretty cheap little addition. I've just cut a small piece off. And apart from my sleeping gear, which I've just talked you through, I've got my jet boil. I was going to take my MSR Dragonfly stove, which is a liquid fuel stove. I had a fuel leak in there, so glad I have a backup in the jet boil. And this is my Granite Gear Crown 2 pack. Pretty nice pack, really comfy. It's really good pack to carry a heavy load. It's got it's kind of a hybrid between a frameless and a framed pack. It's got just enough support for me. I really like it. I would like another 5 litres. I think it's about 60-65 litres. I prefer to have a 70 litre pack, but they're pretty hard to find these days. People seem to be trying to minimise their gear, and definitely a good thing to do, but yeah, I like having that extra bit of capacity in my pack. So, got a nice lightweight down jacket from, this is Montaigne. I think it's an English company. I've had this jacket for years. It's not as puffy as some of the more traditional ones you might see in the shops, which I really like. It means it packs down smaller. It's still pretty warm, which is great. And yeah, I think that'll be about do it. If you have any questions about gear, feel free to drop me a comment below, let me know. I will do a full gear loadout video and full gear review at some point. I know I do get the odd question about when I'm going to do that again. But yeah, hopefully that's a bit of a snapshot into some of the gear I'm carrying this trip. I might start getting things packed up, and then yeah, I'll probably switch over to the GoPro and I'll take you guys out on the hike out. I'm just going to finish packing up. I'll switch you guys out to the GoPro and I'll take you down this climb. I hiked in along a cross-country ski trail, so I might not show too much of that, but the climb up here through the snow gums was absolutely beautiful, and there's some really nice views, so yeah, I'll definitely take you guys along for that part. So one thing I was thinking about this morning was whether or not I actually picked a good spot to camp. My main concern last night was to ensure I had some protection from the westerly winds, which I absolutely have. But you can see I'm actually on top of quite a big snowdrift here. Now, the snow here in Australia, this is very hard packed. It's almost like ice. And so I think it's pretty safe. I'd like to know if this is actually a sensible idea or not. Yeah, it looks safe to me, but I'm not sure if actually camping on top of a drift like this is actually a good idea, because if the drift were to give way, then obviously that could be a pretty bad day. So yeah, if you have any experience in this, let me know down below. I'd be keen to hear. I'm always interested in learning and becoming a better outdoorsman. And this is not something that I've done a lot of, and so yeah, definitely don't want to portray myself as being an expert. So I'm just going to follow my tracks back. I might stop walking, it's actually quite noisy. Yeah, so I'm going to follow my tracks back. It hasn't obviously snowed overnight, so I've still got a visible trail to follow. Yeah, what a beautiful spot. Really enjoyed my time here, and I think I'm kind of hooked now. I think I want to come back and do this a lot more often, so yeah. All right. Oh, have a look at these snow gums. These trees that grow here are just incredibly gnarly old gum trees, and they have the most amazing bark patterns. These snowshoes have actually got amazing grip when you're going downhill. It feels like you want to slide, but they hook you into the snow really well. Yeah, very cool experience, lots of fun. I've just caught a glimpse of the cross-country trail. It's not far to go, but it's been a pretty decent climb. To get up to where I was camping I've dropped 100 meters of elevation already, and by the time I get back to the trail I think it'll be another 50. So yeah, 150 meters on top of what I did yesterday as well. Yeah, pretty decent climb in snowshoes. So hopefully the sun's not too bright and distorting the view, but yeah, you can see the posts. They mark the cross-country trail. And then I've got to climb all the way up there, unfortunately. All the way up and then over into the next valley. My goodness. There wouldn't be too many weekends a year like this where it's just beautiful weather and the mountains are absolutely looking resplendent. Have a look at it. Such a spectacular part of the world. Oh, well, that's a bit of a shame. I was enjoying my off-track walk, but walking this trail will get me back to civilization a lot quicker, and yeah, I don't have much time on this trip, so that is good news. Whoop, a bit of a slide. Back on the trail, you can see the snow starting to melt here in the valley, but wow, 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 wow. So I was camping right at the top there, if I can get my finger in the right spot. There it is. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. But right here is a really good example actually of the impact fire can have on the Australian landscape. And yeah, a lot of people think it is correct to an extent that the landscape is resilient to fire, but you can see here all these dead trees, these beautiful old snow gums, they all burnt in 2003, and as you can see, most of them are actually dead. There's a few that have survived, but you know, this is 17 years on from the fire, and there's not a lot of regeneration happening here. So yeah, it just goes to show. Alrighty guys, well, I've got a long slog in front of me, so I might leave the video here. I just want to say a big thank you to you for watching. This has been a sensational trip. I've had such a good time, and it's worked out so much better than I expected. I reckon there'd be 1 or 2 weekends a year where the weather is this good and you've got this good snow cover and you've got these beautiful temperatures. So yeah, I've really lucked out with the weather. It's been fantastic. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave those below. If you wouldn't mind giving it a thumbs up, or if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel if you like these sorts of videos. There will be more coming in the future, but it really does just help the channel out. And so yeah, thanks very much guys, really appreciate all your support. This has been a fantastic trip. I'm so happy right now, and yeah, I'm going to turn the camera off before I have to climb up this big hill. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers guys, bye.